Hello and welcome to another edition of Cooking Technique Tuesday. I am Coach Lauren, also a trained chef, and one of my members asked for crab rangoon. So what we're gonna do is crab rangoon, air fried, but I also thought, well, I was looking actually for recipes and they all still had cream cheese, and I thought, well, fat-free plain Greek yogurt is 0 points. Yes, it's a little, tart in taste for a lot of people. What I'm gonna do though is I wanna make sure to get as much of the liquid out of the yogurt as possible. So I'm gonna strain it overnight. So that's why I don't have any of the other mise en place, because I'm not gonna set it out overnight. So I have a bowl, I've got my strainer that sits, so there's some room down there. I don't expect a crazy amount of moisture to come out again, but any little bit helps. I want it to be a little bit more like a cream cheese consistency. I've got cheesecloth, and it's a double, when I took it out of the package, it's basically folded already for me, so it is doubled up. And what I'm going to do is very simple. I'm gonna put the yogurt in there. There we go. And it calls for string in a lot of recipes to do the straining. Get that extra little bit, because we want as much for the filling as humanly possible, because filling is wonderful and delicious. So I've got my Greek yogurt in there. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of pull up the sides. And what I really wanna do, I can already feel some of the liquid coming out, which is good. So I wanna twist it a little bit. You can start to kind of push it out a little bit. I'm actually just gonna let it hang for overnight. So instead of string though, I actually didn't have any, I couldn't find it. So I've got just a little garbage tie that has never been used on garbage. Let me just make that announcement right now. So I'm going to just tighten that. I've already got some liquid that is starting to come out, which is exciting. So I'm really honestly just gonna let this sit in the fridge overnight. I've got, liquid all over my hands, so that's good. We want as much liquid to come out as possible so we get more of a cream cheese texture. So I'm excited for this one. So I'm gonna let this sit overnight and I will see you tomorrow. All right, well, I have my plain fat-free Greek yogurt here that I strained overnight to get as much of the liquid out as possible. And so now it's more of a cream cheese texture. So I've got my flaked crab meat. I chopped it up kind of fine. I've got a little bit of garlic, a little bit of ginger, a little bit of scallions. I'm gonna add just a couple dashes of soy sauce and Worcestershire sauce, and then we're gonna wrap these. But let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add all of my ingredients into the bowl. It already smells wonderful because of the garlic and ginger. Got that. And then just a couple of shakes of soy sauce and like a dash or two of Worcestershire, just to add a little bit of flavor. And what I'm going to do is simply mix this together. It's going to be fairly heavy on crab versus the cream cheese, which is personally the way that I like it. All right, so I'm gonna make sure to mix this up really good. And then I'm gonna clean off these dishes so that we can build some wontons. I'll see you in a minute. Alrighty, so now it is time to make up the wontons. I've got my wonton wrappers underneath the damp paper towel just so that these do not dry out. I'm gonna show you 2 different ways to do this. One is gonna be easier than the other, but they will both work. I'm gonna put just a little bit, anywhere from a teaspoon to a tablespoon. This way that I'm gonna fold it makes it a little bit easier to put closer to a tablespoon in. And all I wanna do is match the edges, crimp it like that. Easy peasy. So there we go. There is the first one, and let me show you a different way. All right, so for a different method, I'm going to put just a little dab in the center of each side. And for this fold, I'm gonna put a little less, so really closer to a teaspoon, which does not seem like a lot, but we don't want this to explode. That is important. There we go. So what I'm going to do is take this in my hand, and I'm going to match these two. Then I'm going to knead it up like that. Boom, easy peasy. Both of them are extremely easy. I think this one's a little bit prettier, so I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 more off camera that will look just like this, and I'll see you in a minute. Alrighty, so I have my air fryer preheated. I'm gonna go ahead and spray the bottom pretty darn well, and then put my little purses in there, and my football-shaped one. Whee! With this shape, you can get a little bit more in there. And I'm gonna give them a pretty decent spray and put them in here. And I'm gonna check them after about 5 minutes. See you then. Alrighty, and we are all done. So I will see you over by the plating. Hello, and we are back. So I have my crab rangoon, and I've got one right here, the football-shaped one. I'm gonna dip it in a little bit of my sauce. Still piping hot. And again, a much higher crab to cream cheese or Greek yogurt. I don't really taste much of a difference. I mean, there's a little bit of a difference, but I actually really like it with more crab. So, yeah, this was fun actually. Hadn't had these in a very long time. So, this has been another episode of Cooking Technique Tuesday. I'm gonna go snack on these before they cool off, and I will see you next time.